TIL about a woman who was paid a financial settlement of £4,250 after she was asked her age during a job interview with Domino's Pizza. This incident underscores the importance of awareness and adherence to equality legislation by employers, big or small. Inappropriate questions or comments during interviews can be perceived as discriminatory, leading to potential legal repercussions. While companies may operate on a franchisee model, the actions at individual branches can impact the brand's reputation as a whole. It's crucial for businesses to provide training and resources to ensure all employees, especially those involved in the hiring process, understand the basics of equality and non-discrimination. Age is a protected characteristic under UK law, as is sex. I mention this because this is another thing that the payout may have been given for. If there is a reasonable belief that one of these or any other protected characteristic was the reason for a person not being considered for a job role, then they can bring it to a trial. Evidently the trial found it more likely than not that the beliefs were correct. BTDT. Had an interview in which they didn't ask my age. I was visibly older than the interviewers, so they knew I was old. However, they asked one question about my qualifications, then for 30 minutes asked questions that were textbook violations of laws against age discrimination in employment. It was astonishing. After the interview, told HR to throw my application in the garbage, and this threat a lot of people ignoring the fact this was in the UK and not wherever they live. Employment discrimination laws all over the place. I was like blown away when I was in countries where passport-style headshots were standard on job applications before LinkedIn, or applications would just casually ask about religion or marital status. Domino's is a horrible company here in the States as well. The franchisees are usually right-wing religious nutjobs who push their beliefs onto all their employees. The one I worked at wouldn't hire black people. They would literally throw the application in the trash as soon as they got it. She should have gotten much more, frankly. It's disrespectful and never asked in good faith. I find questions about age or even how long have you been in the industry some bitch had the nerve to ask me via DM really invasive. I look young, I'd click a couple years, you dumbass. Meanwhile I went on an interview where dude was asked if I was married, how old I was, if I had any plans to marry in the future, if I had any kids and if I wanted to have kids in the future. Nothing happened with this other than that I didn't get the job. Employees, why do I always have to apply for jobs on some third-party website that always rejects half of my information out of hand? Employers, how can I mitigate the risk of being sued for something as silly as asking someone how old they are? Reading these comments worries me. I've been asked my age, gender, sexual orientation and religion on the last 5 or so jobs in the UK I've applied for, none of which I wanted to answer, but it was essential. WTF? It's kind of weird. I looked around at the office the other day and realized that I have no idea how old these people are. Sure, I can guess ranges, but it seems so odd. Yeah, interviewers are bigoted as hell. Many times they told me that they won't hire me because of my age or sex. Before they used to at least pretend it was something else. I didn't realize pizza delivery driver had an interview process more than a background check to see if you've crashed into any telephone poles recently. This lady just takes don't ask a lady her age to a whole new level. Joke aside, whoever conducted the interview really didn't qualify to do so. I don't really see why it's a protected trait. If you're old and they want someone young for the job, that seems like it could be an issue. I don't blame her. When you live in a country that expects you to work into your 60s, hell no, you're not allowed to discriminate on age. I just ask for free pizza for life. Edit this as me thinking. Do Domino's in other countries have Brooklyn style? I was asked if I was gay or not when I interviewed at Domino's. Mind you, the guy got fired a few months after that. It kinda amazes me how many interviewers never receive any training on interviewing. It's a huge legal minefield. In British Columbia there are laws for people under 16, so that might be pertinent information. Seems like a dumb move when you can slip in some job on some form and get the info that way. Why would they even need to ask? Just check the date of birth on the application form. Are these questions still a legal problem if you ultimately hire the person? I'm a little disappointed that the interviewer didn't bother to ask her age. Buys you an extra month of unemployment, I guess. 2 if you spend it well. That's a lot of pizzas. Just no Domino's pizza no more, I suppose. Devilish face. So how old is she? Safe to wank off to or no? JK, I already did. There's no way they chose that picture of her, did her dirty.